Hello there, and welcome back to Corey Loses for the continuation of our Fall of the Republic 1.1 playthrough as the CIS. We've got Blazer back over here. Means that the other one that used to be the Blazer is now properly named, I think. But we are in the midst of our conquest of the Outer Rim. We just took Arinda. We also took Kuat, so we're going to be building up a little bit in the core as well. We've got the core split into 5 planets in the south, and then, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 planets in the more northern parts of it. We do need to get into Contrum soon. So, do we want to send Trench over there now? Try to, at least? Yeah, this fleet with Delso and Trench was meant to go over there. So we're going to go do that. But I Like Bird should be floating around somewhere now. And we will build up Arinda a little bit. Here at my Guido and Munilinst, we will hopefully be able to build up a couple extra units to send in on our conquest of Ord Tracy and all that. I'm hoping we don't pull down any attention or pull up any attention from the other planets that are kind of north of the core towards this direction. But we are going to start heading in for Tracy as well. So that's 2 targets for us right now. And yeah, let's go.
Construction complete.
Tactical battle imminent.
This is still one of their bigger fleets. It's one of their only large fleets in this part of the galaxy, though. So if we can take them out, it'll be a big boost. One of their last remaining Praetors. I think they might have another one in the southern part of the galaxy. I don't know how much they have in reserve is the problem here. So a turbo for every acclimator. And Trench.
I smell fear.
They also boost each other. With the Bulwark. The Lucrol can shoot every direction. So they're going to start turning towards us.
It's been so long since I had a worthy opponent.
We don't need to kill everything. Alright, Munificent. Oh, there's only the one. Never mind. For some reason I was still thinking with 300 pop cap. Alright, take down those Axe. Then out we go.
Forces are overwhelming. Retreat, retreat, retreat.
Alright, then we'll come back. And I'm really not sure how much pop cap they have worth of units. Like, this is gonna be... poor Ocean State. We got the bonus off of him, we got 2 acclimators. So, primary target killed.
Roger, roger.
They are going for Kashyyyk.
Building under construction.
I don't know if they're actually going to be able to do a proper invasion of it. I just want to stop them from having access through everything. Which they're getting from Contrim into Kashyyyk, and then they're just going down here.
Choose your reinforcements.
Alright, we've got ionize the oxygen. We've got... We'll send in some of the smaller stuff, actually. Captor, recusants, munificence,
Moving. Wow, roger that. Stay clear.
and TF.
Resuming previous subroutine.
Oh, yeah, those will be fine. Also throw in these Gozantes.
Those torpedo launchers
I
must
need
be
recharging current target acquired. Power up. Dispose of turret.
Come in that way. And there.
primary engine system is down.
Negative life form confirmed. Terminating ATP.
Bay has been destroyed. Our target priority is the laser.
Charge up.
You stay further back. Then Shrek send his life on that side. All our generic units have taken the brunt of everything.
On the engines. We've lost our turbo laser.
Fire target acquired. Charge up. Target
Alright, that's just gonna come like right through.
Direct fire at their laser cannon.
Seems risky.
well aimed.
Destroy the engines.
And you guys are gonna be in fine shape to hit that. Ooh, you just take out the Architens. Alright. So this is, again, they have two capital shipyards on this north side. So two of the three planets that are left over here could make
Uh-oh.
VSDs and Vens, which we want to stop them from being able to do.
The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannons. The lasers are our target.
And
Charge up.
they're really going for him.
I need recharging.
There we go. Turn you around.
Power up.
Right. Stop trying to opportunity fire at fighters. It's not going to help anyone.
You have been designated for termination.
When's the Jotun mod 2021 on X2? So I think the plan right now is for us to do Jotun mod next Thursday.
Opening fire on the torpedo launchers.
Check your flank.
Did they get the engines off of him? They did. Alright.
Direct fire.
So no leaving for him. Get the DH Omni in here.
Uh-oh. Danger, danger.
Like, this week we're doing the X2 podcast on Thursday. We've got Stellaris coming back tomorrow. We're going to be playing, I think, the base game again. But then, next week, we're back to Empire War Skirmish on Thursday.
Target down.
We'll have Sister Ship Devastation be added in 1.2, or that a later edition. So, yeah, that'll be eventually. We don't have a plan for specifically when, but we'll probably redo the basic Subjugator first.
Direct fire at
Activity
their
alert.
laser cannon.
Roger, roger. Destroy
So whenever you see an updated model for that, there will probably be devastation coming soon after it.
Target those lasers.
Roger, roger. Alright, destroy turret.
Cargo ship.
Alright, you need to go up there and support that.
Can't have my mark.
Need everything over there.
Send the coordinates.
Memory fragmented.
This is bad.
Enemy check your flanks. Kill enemy unit.
Pop do I need? 82.
Target down.
Supply ship required.
Yes,
Nope.
register.
Okay, no retreat.
Roger, roger. What's on being reticle recently calibrated?
You're 22. 8, so... We can't have both of them in with the Lucre Hall.
Coordinates. Your organics are so fragile. Send the coordinates.
Negative life form confirmed. Roger, general protection target.
I just want to get the shields back on the Subjugator. So we're going to try to kill off the fighters if we can.
Surgery is my specialty. Direct fire at their laser cannon. Targeting the torpedo launcher.
Roger, roger. Copy.
That. The Y-Wings, the Arc 170s. Anything that can take out our special weapons. We need those to assault the stations. Looks like we're starting to get some shields back, though, as well. Fuck.
Can't have my mark.
Without anything to tank for it. It's suffering. Right now it's going to be no help against the stations. I was hoping the Venator would go for the Subjugator as well. Alright, we may as well sacrifice Shrekusant.
Recharging. The battery's ours to lose. Situational prediction, extreme damage. Incoming rocket.
Well, let's bring it over here and see if we can deal with these fighters. Like, we really need that Lucre Hulk, I think. So just try to help with the rest of the garrisons. We'll keep you over here as long as we can.
Check your flight. Destination imminent. Charge. How are you doing that? Killing machine. This does not compute.
Don't think they're getting any more Venators, so they shouldn't have too many more fighters, except for what they get out of the Valaduja. You just get up there now.
Direct fire on the engines. Destroy the engines.
What's on being reticle recently calibrated? Explosive detected.
Alright. Yeah, you need to just die. Sorry, Shrekusant.
Target down.
We need your pop for other stuff.
Send the coordinates.
And we'll probably keep TF. We'll just get rid of the DH Omni.
Surgery is my specialty.
What's on being reticle recently calibrated? A human. Productivity alert. Daisy, Daisy. Death registered. You are a killing machine. Power up.
Programmed for medical treatment.
Enemy target. Terminate them. Visual lock.
Like, obviously, retreating isn't going to do us any good.
Charge off. Roger, boom. Human light.
You know?
Visual lock. Commence attack maneuver.
Send the coordinates. Patching, sir.
Alright.
Programmed for medical
Look out.
So we want our shields back here,
Negative life force.
and we want our DH Omni gone.
Enemy unit.
Keep regenning shields while we wait for that to go die. We'll drop in the Lucre Hulk over here.
Kill. Enemy unit.
And once we have fullish shields on the Subjugator, we'll go in.
Death registered. A human. Kill.
Yeah, this guy's gonna.
Uh-oh. Redundancy procedures initiated.
transmit destination. Cargo ship here.
We might be able to do some damage to the Golan with this, but I just don't want to be in range of the Valaduja.
Transmit destination.
Self-preservation logic activated. Enemy eliminated. Hold your ground. Termination initiated.
Cargo ship here. Pain
Unit
X1
eliminated.
strong.
Well aimed. Target turret. Wow, roger that. Polish Republic Organic.
The launch bay is gone.
That's all dying.
How are you doing that? Target acquired. Good shot. Advance the
Our
attack.
engines are gone, sir.
How are you doing that?
Apes get an ability for selling Star Destroyers in the Republic.
Our
No.
turbo laser batteries have been disabled.
Ape and access to Star Destroyers would be through boarding in the first place. If you want to sell them, then you can right-click and sell them like anything else, but
Player shot.
if you want to narratively think that the person you're selling them to is the New Republic, then you can, but
Player shot. Hold your ground. Target. This does not compute. Charge up. This does not compute. Redundancy procedures initiated. Resume operation. Enemy fighter targeted. Roger, roger.
alright. Lucre Hulk, give us fighters, please. And tank for us. Alright, we gotta get rid of this one as well.
Enemy target. Messy, messy. Die, die, rider, rider. Was your aim reticle recently calibrated? Killed enemy unit. A human. Roger, roger.
Your turn to die.
Hostiles eliminated. Commence attack maneuver. Visual lock. March in, march. All targets acquired. Well aimed. This does not compute. Eliminate target. Killed enemy unit. Take that, droid killer. Die, die, rider, rider. Die.
Like, I'm okay with losing a bunch of these ships because they don't really have much else up here. Taking out the planet and taking out their production is going to be a lot more valuable for us than
One droid army.
This planet,
having those ships.
let us take what we want.
Especially when they're not even paid for.
Our target priority is the laser cannon.
Here, I'll dispatch them.
Roger, roger.
What is it, my lord?
The lasers are our target.
Power up.
send one of my minions. Here. Here. We will show no mercy.
Hoping we'll still be able to get through the station like this.
The lasers are our target.
What is it, my lord? Let us
God.
take what we want.
We're not even through the shields of that going. Alright, I gotta send the bombers after it.
Target acquired.
I will send one of my minions. Here. I am at your disposal.
We might be fucked.
Power coupling's failing.
I will send one of my minions.
Run away. Exit combat immediately. Disengaging from battle.
Go around this side, maybe.
I am at your disposal.
Exit combat immediately.
What is it, my lord?
Explosive detected.
Right, and you go around this side.
I will send one of my minions.
Machines are delivering target. Messy.
Here.
No shield damage on there.
I will send one of my minions. We will show no mercy. What is it, my lord?
Mommy.
Here.
Don't target the Carrick. You son of a...
Roger. Target.
Fine, fine, you targeted the Carrick. Got 0 shots off on the Valaduja.
Here.
How are you doing that? Secure. Eliminate.
What is it, my lord? I am at your disposal.
That's finally shooting.
Disengaging from battle. Negative life form confirmed. Power coupling's
I
failing.
am at your disposal. I'll dispatch them.
Thank you, Star from Guitar for the 100 bits, saying, since you mentioned doing new story stuff and legitimacy, will Crimson Empire, both the Air and GC, get new content to add more flavor? Crimson Empire isn't really going to be a huge focus. The GC, the standalone GC, now that you can start in that era, is probably going to be cut. Like, there's other higher priority and higher profile stuff that'll almost certainly be a focus before more stuff for Crimson Empire would be.
I will send one of my minions.
Like, the government mechanics don't really... They're not really modeled to specifically impact certain things in a given GC. Like, it would impact it because it's still a bunch of Imperials around, but like there wouldn't be a higher impact from legitimacy in Crimson Empire versus other Imperial focused stuff. Or other things where there's already more Empire. But like, for story elements, like there's more of a focus on the either random missions or story elements that are technically the term would be generic, but not like generic as in blander, just generic as in stuff that can come up throughout the course of a game more organically, so that it impacts more than one thing. So like there are a few really high profile battles that are being focused on for story content before then. Like you'd see the Battle of Endor mission, Operation Nightfall and Fall of the Republic, the Battle on the Invisible Hand, like stuff that's pretty important that'd get worked into Galactic Conquest like that, or even just standalone battles. But like Crimson Empire, there's no like standout battles that really make good missions that we'd really be focusing on for that GC first or for progressives first. It's a relatively minor period or point. Which isn't to say it'd never get anything new, it's just, it's not the focus. Well, more warlords or factions not in the video will be added in the future. There's, like, for that, the video that came out, that was all the playable factions. There won't be any more standalone, non-playable warlords other than Zero Command, most likely. There'd be, like, the independent warlord. So there's the kind of generic factions of, like, the independent forces and then the Imperial Warlord. There's, like, the ones at Morja and that kind of thing. So there'd be forces on individual planets that represent them, kind of like there are now. But we don't plan to add much more in the way of, like, standalone factions, playable or otherwise, for the Imperials. As far as other factions that aren't Imperials beyond what's covered in the video, there's like years of work already just in those videos, so we don't plan on doing other stuff. We've got like 4 mods to do with dozens of factions between them, which is more than most games or mods ever get to. So if I started promising doing other stuff, that would be pretty unreasonable for me to expect we'd get to in any reasonable amount of time. So again, not impossible, but also not especially likely. 3.2 does not have release date now. We're very early in the development press cycle for it. Zero Command, will Zero Command be active in all GCs it's present for as non-playable, and will Zero Command be playable for Unification along its confirmed playable one? No, in Reunification, or in Deep Core Conflict, the reason it's playable is because the regular Empire takes its spot. We don't intend to make Zero Command playable. We can't even necessarily make it active unless it's near the bottom of the faction list, so we have to set it, so we'd be able to set it to playable. Because one of the fun things with the AW factions is if there is a non-playable faction, like a faction that is set to not be playable, it will lose every auto-resolve against the AI. So if we tried to make Zero Command active and not playable, it would just die all the time to the AI. Like it wouldn't actually be able to invade anything because it would just lose. So if we wanted to make it active, we'd have to set it to playable, which would also mean we have to set it to be not on the faction list. So we'd have to like drop it below the list, which is what we do in Fall of the Republic with the CIS sub-factions. Which in TR is harder because there's so many more factions, especially factions coming later that are playable, so we have to be careful with how we organize everything. Deal with that.
Here, there shall be no treaty.
There'll probably be a video coming relatively soon that's going to talk about like a broader overview of what we're doing with 0.2. Because we've talked about some specific stuff, but we haven't really said too much about like the overall goals with it, other than it's going to be a longer dev cycle, because there is more that we're doing than in the 0.1 release. Because 0.1 was a pretty quick release cycle. Ended up being slightly longer than we intended because of the petroglyph patch, and just dealing with some adjustments from that. But it was still, on the grand scheme of in the grand scheme of things, pretty quick.
Enemy attempting flanking maneuver. You are a one-droid army.
Whereas it was more of a setup release where we did a lot of like back-end reworks, cleanup, that kind of thing. Whereas 0.2, we're doing a lot of content, a lot more content, so it'll take a while. Right, I think I am just going to auto-resolve this rather than waiting for the shields again. We would have been able to deal with that eventually. We expect by 2030 for there not to be independent forces? As in, like, a faction for every possible independent one? No. Definitely not a goal we have. Alright, I think that's going to do it for our second episode here. We're going to keep going on Twitch for at least one more episode. For those of you on YouTube, hope you're enjoying the campaign so far. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time.